So I'm going to start because it's been a long day for me, and I'm sure it's been a long day for everybody too. Thank you once again. I'm so excited to be a part of this, and I'd like to say a big thank you to Eliana for inviting me to this symposium. There's no doubt that we have all had a very stimulating and exciting presentations all along. And my own particular concern here is to share some of our insights on team teaching and student involvement in managing large classes. I would like to say that while you all are talking, my own scenario, my own background is very different from yours. I'm from the university. I was formerly with the University of Agriculture, El-Khoury, and now I'm working with African Union and the Vice Rector of the Pan-African University. So I've moved from physical class teaching. I'm now into higher education management. But I've been in touch with Eliana, and it's really exciting for her to invite me to present what I've been doing when I was with the Federal University of Agriculture in Nigeria, and I'm happy to do that. I would like to say that my own background is from a bit of a resource disadvantage situation, so different from what everybody have been presenting, and you'll see that in a little bit. But I'd like to start with these icebreakers. I want you to think about your most memorable moment in a large class setting, because it's going to let you have an idea. When you're talking of large classes of 500 students, I'm talking of large classes of 5,000 students at a go. So that's the situation. When you hear the word team teaching, what comes to your mind? Then I want you to close your eyes for a moment and envision an ideal large class. I would like to have an ideal large class of 50 students, but all my life, in 30 years, I've never had that opportunity of teaching just 50 students. When I started 30 years ago, I started with about 500 students. And by the time I left the University of Agriculture, I was faced with 5,000 students at a go. So how would you manage a large class of about 5,000 students using student involvement? Like I said, my background is from a resource disadvantaged background. When I'm talking of facing 5,000 students, I don't have teaching assistant. We're just 10. We started with 3 lecturers, and then over the years, we got 10 lecturers to teach this university-based course that I'm going to talk about. And then what is the biggest hurdle? What is the biggest hurdle you face in engaging students? Yes, many of the presenters have put us through this. Without wasting too much time, once again, I would like to say thank you to Eliana for inviting me to share our insights from our team teaching experiment and highlights how student involvement has enhanced the management of large classes. We dabbled into the idea of alternative assessment because we had to teach a large class. So we had to look for ways to manage this large number of students. And then we had to look for different ways to make sure that students are engaged, as we have heard earlier, and also to sustain their attention in class. When we started with a situation where, because we were just 3 and we had about 500 students at each year, the 3 of us, we go to class together, and what we do is we make one of us stay in front of the class while the remaining 2 lecturers, we go around the class to see what the students are doing, because we wanted to make sure we have their attention. So over the years, the number of candidates seeking admission into Nigerian university increased. Not all applicants were successful, but in my own university, where I left, that's the Federal University of Agriculture, like I said, we started with 500 and then we moved on to 5,000. And the reason for this is because the need for higher education became democratized and many people started wanting to seek higher education, and one cannot blame them. And like I said, we had to look for ways in which we had to teach the students. And this experiment started in 1991. So you can see how long it has taken us and where we are today. First, it was because this course that I was teaching, communicative interactive language teaching, was introduced to the university, and it's a course that's a kind of remedial course to assist students to improve on their communication skills. Then secondly, we had to look for ways, so we adopted this method because of the large class we faced. It wasn't easy at all. We had the regular lecture theater to teach this course, and like I said, it is a remedial course, and it wasn't easy at all. And then the course, we were disadvantaged because the university is actually a university of agriculture and science. And then to have language teachers come to teach in this kind of scenario, we were not being taken seriously. We were just taken as not really part of the system, that we're just there to assist the students, and we weren't given the kind of recognition that we would have wanted. So this didn't make teaching in this kind of situation very comfortable for us. The students are from different backgrounds. Nigeria is a very big, enormous country. You must have an idea of that. And even the three lecturers are also from three different linguistic backgrounds. So it was not easy doing this work. And this made us to look for ways in which we could make our work easy and also impact on the students. In carrying out this experiment, the language teachers, 3 of us in number when we started, and now close to 10 by the time I left, consult with the core subject teachers to select relevant text with semi-technical components so that the student will be interested in what we're teaching. We are teaching them communication skills, and they were wondering why we would have to be teaching them that. They say sometimes to us that they're just in the university to learn about agriculture, to learn about science or applied sciences. So the language teachers go to class together, and we conduct the class in such a way that one of the teachers do the actual teaching, and then the other is assisting, like I said earlier on. This way, it is assumed that more tasks would be accomplished, the contact with students will increase and improve, and lastly, the problem of coping with large number of students in one classroom would overcome. At the Federal University of Agriculture, this communication skills courses, there are 2 of them. The first one at the 100 level is called the use of English, and the second one is called writing and literary appreciation. And we have other courses in that unit that takes care of these courses, such as philosophy, logic, history, and sociology. And these courses are compulsory for all the students at both the 100 level and the 200 level. So what method of alternative assessment do we engage in? By the time I joined the university, they were teaching in the traditional way. The lecturer stays in front of the class and then conduct the classes. But we discovered that this was not effective enough. So what did we do? We decided to group the students into groups. And when we talk of grouping them into groups, it's still large. We usually end up with about 20 or 25 students in a group. And how do we manage this? We make them to make, we give them tasks ahead of class. We allocate this task to them. At the beginning of the session, we have leaders of each group, and then we allocate the task that each group is to do. And because of our situation, we started by using cardboards. We make students, I'll show you some of the creative ideas that the student came up with while we're using these cardboards. They translate their work into cardboards, which they then present in class as a group. We have one of them to present, and to make sure that everybody in the group would participate, we don't let them know who would do the presentation. So anyone in the group will be made to do the presentation. That is one way in which we ensure that all the students are participating in the activities. But now we've moved into, they are using PowerPoint, and a lot of the time they're able to share the PowerPoint ahead of the class. And once they finish their presentation, they are also allowed to ask questions from the larger group, and then another person from the group will be made to answer those questions. The teacher assesses the performance of each group from 4 perspectives. We look at how they organize their presentation, we look at the content they come up with, and we also look at the expression while making their presentation and mechanical accuracy. So we discovered that a lot of the time, because this is a very engaging class and full of activities for students, students who previously did not like attending our classes started coming to our classes. They love participating, and they take a very good active part in class. So one can say that this involving students in their classwork is a very good one, because it encourages student participation. It's prepared them, they are able to work in pair, and then they also get, because we've reduced the number by making them to work in group, they're able to get immediate feedback in class. And also, it kind of gives the students a kind of opportunity. I've heard people, I'm happy that many of the presenters do share the kind of anxiety that we had when we started. Many of the students are shy. They don't want to be the one making the presentation. So we look for ways in which to encourage them. And also because they know that the group work is part of what we are going to score them on at the end of the day. They want to take an active part. So, like I said, they use posters and PowerPoints to make their presentation. And during this, you see that some things you cannot believe that students are capable of doing, they come up with and manage themselves very well. I don't know if you're seeing this very well. Students are able to translate their ideas into this kind of presentations that we have. This was what we had at the initial time, at the beginning when we started this project. You know, if you look at this poster that I have here, they're looking at subjects, we're talking about grammar here. And they came up with this kind of creative poster to indicate how they can understand. And the idea is that when you see this kind of presentation in class, it's likely to stick with you. And you're not likely to make that kind of error or that kind of mistake when you are writing or when you are speaking. I'm going to show a particularly interesting creative one in literature. And when we try to teach types of literature, we're talking of prose, drama, and poetry. And in class, the students themselves were able to draw this kind of thing and present in class. And this particular picture, the one with the umbrella, is interesting because it's actually the logo of a particular political party in the country. So the students find it very interesting and very appropriate, or let me say, good to use this to remind the other students that, oh, there are 3 branches of literature: poetry, drama, prose, using the logo of a particular political party in the country. A rundown of the posters and the PowerPoints presented by the students, like I said, are usually very creative, and very often the student gets to score very good mark. You can see the effort. Like we've heard in the presentation earlier, it's the effort that the students, and in putting this effort, you know that they are gaining something and that they are learning, they are actually learning something. It's different from when they just sit in class, they sleep off, or they're playing with their phone. With this kind of activities, they're able to actively participate in class. So I would like to say that this introduction of using the poster, of making them make a PowerPoint presentation is more convenient and faster in assessing our students, because is as you make your presentation, we award the scores for each group, and each you get extra mark different from the group mark if you do make good additional contribution in class. The challenges that we encountered when we started, initially students resisted because they know it was additional work on their parts, so they did not want to participate. But when they discovered that there was no other way out, they got engaged with it. We also had logistical issues in coordinating the group work, because we sometimes get a report from the students that some students are they just want to be in a particular group so that they will score marks. They don't want to be active in those groups. But we usually find a way around it to make sure that when you're not active, you are not given the same score as the other students in the particular group. And also, because some students, they find it easier to work with their peers. So they come out of their shadows than they would rather when they are on their own. And reflections and lessons learned from this, it's giving us an idea that it is important to be flexible and adaptable in our teaching methods. You can just imagine having to stand in front of 5,000 students to do remedial courses for them. You are there to help them and not to compound their problem. And if you have to teach them in a group as a whole, 5,000, my God, that's difficult and tough. So we have to look for this way of doing these assignments. And well, over the time, we have tried to encourage other faculty members to use this method. We succeeded in one department. Even though it has taken us so much, we have not been able to make too good progress. But I'm happy from the news I'm hearing from the university that with the situation of things, more people are being encouraged to use this method. Also, we are also looking for more ways in which we can integrate technology into this teaching. And well, of course, the scores for the students are a lot better with this method than if we were to teach them the traditional ways. So that makes the course very interesting for students. Before I joined the university, students usually, they were actually asking that the course should be made optional, not compulsory for them. But because it's a compulsory course, as directed by the National University Commission, all universities in Nigeria offer these two courses at the 100 and 200 level. There was nothing the student could do. So it was a good way that we on our part looked for ways in which to make the learning process for the students more engaging and more interesting. I'm a little bit tired. I'm sorry I don't have too much data to provide. We've come up with this in a number of articles, and some of them are online. And once again, I'd like to thank Eliana and everybody that organized this symposium and those who are present for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this and to share what it is teaching large classes in our own world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You know, I was thinking while you were talking, such an important lesson, I think, around not waiting to come up with innovative solutions or wait, you know, to put heads together and problem solve ourselves. Don't wait, you know, to always be asked. Somehow your what you've done with your colleagues, I think, is admirable. And I think how you just grabbed the bull by the horns and got on with the job that needed to be done, you know. I can't imagine 5,000 students in a, you know, that it's remarkable.
That has been my world for like
Yes.
20, 25 years.
It's astonishing. And then the fact that it's an extraordinary challenge and to come up with a really innovative approach to it, you know, where a lot of people would collapse under the pressure of the numbers, you know. So you deserve a lot of, it's inspirational. It really is. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. I was so excited when I saw Eliana online. I just said, oh, this is what we've been trying to do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And from joining us from across the world, it really also reminds us that, you know, innovative solutions, innovative ideas, they come from everywhere, from all corners of the world, really.
Absolutely.
Sometimes those of us who live in North America, we think we have the cornerstone on innovative ideas, and we absolutely don't. And the work you've done is a good example of that. So thank you for inspiring us.
Thank you too.